Hi everyone. Today in this video, I want to talk about certain habits that I believe that we should adopt even as 2023 closes out and we're approaching 2024. Things that we can do in our relationship that will help us or enable us have a better experience. The first thing I want to talk about is just listening to your partner. This is something that sounds so simple, but it can really be hard to just calm yourself down and listen to your partner's point, especially if there's a difference of opinion. Sometimes you're holding on so tight to your opinion that your mind is just blocked to what your person is saying. So I think we should approach marriage with the mindset that, okay, this is how I feel, this is what I've always known, this is what I think, but I'm going to give the other person a chance to say what they have to say. And while they are speaking, I'm not just listening to them so that I can counter what they're saying. Just try to follow the trajectory of their argument and see, just be honest with yourself. Is there any point in what they're saying? Especially in times of conflict, always ask yourself, is there any point in what? Let me listen so that I can get to the heart of what this person's point is. If you're listening to your partner, you'll find out that even in between the lines, you are reading into what they're saying, a deeper need than what it is that is apparent that they're saying. But if you're just listening and you're like, let me just listen so that, I give him back my point against point against point, you might be ignoring some deeper expressions that your partner is trying to communicate. So apart from conflicts, I think let us just also listen, be a listening ear to the person who you're with. Whether or not you enjoy it, I think it's something that you should work on. Hear them, understand them, empathize with them, just be there for them in general. The next thing I'll talk about is communicating better. In 2024, you want to communicate better with your spouse. It seems like there's too much talk about communication. The reason is because without it, you really can't have a relationship. If you're unable to express yourself properly, there's always going to be like a disconnect or a miscommunication between you and your partner. So in 2023, if there's a way that you've been going about your communication that ends up creating a tense atmosphere, then you would want to consider adjusting something about the way you say the things you want to say, how you say the things you want to say, when you say the things you want to say. And sometimes also what you need to work on is actually expressing yourself, because there is such a thing as bad communication, and there's something as an absence of communication where you are not speaking about how you feel, what you want. And I think you need to now ask yourself, why am I not expressing myself? Why am I holding back? Why am I holding too many things to my chest? Is it because you want to create the impression that there's peace? Or is it that you're afraid of your partner? Or is it that there's a lack of trust in the relationship? I think it's important to get to the source or the root of the matter. I don't think that there is any advantage to sweeping things under the carpet. I believe that there is a time and a place and a way to address certain situations, but sweeping it completely under the carpet and then hoping that it will solve the problem will solve itself on its own is like an ostrich that has put his head in the sand. At the end of the day, you have to face that problem, and by the time you've decided to face it, it might be beyond your control. So it's important to always deal with matters as they come, but how you deal with it will determine whether or not you get the results that you want. I have observed over the years so many relationships where the main problem they're having is nothing else but just the inability to say what it is that they want in a way that the other person can accept, just to create also a forum where everybody can say how they feel, and then you come to a point where you're able to compromise and deal with these issues, and then before you know it, it turns into irreconcilable differences. So in 2023, you want to work on that. I have videos and I'm going to link them in the description that will give you further clarity. So before we go on, I'd like for you to please hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't, and hit the notification bell so that you get notified when my videos come out. Fourth thing I'm going to talk about is just to accept the fact that there are some things about your partner that will never change, and just make peace with it. I feel like so much effort can sometimes be put into changing your partner, into making them be more like you, or making them be more like a picture of themselves that you have in your head. Because it is very hard to change a human being. It might just be you spending a lot of time on a venture that will never work. And instead of enjoying yourself in your relationship, instead of enjoying the good times and concentrating on the good things about your partner, and then also realizing that different does not equal bad. So just because it is not what you want doesn't necessarily mean that it is a bad thing. Sometimes we can be selfish about change. We just want it to be how we want it to be, whereas there's really nothing wrong with that person. In other instances, there might actually be something that is not right in your partner's life, but I have noticed that if you concentrate so much on that, you're unable to enjoy the great percentage of things that are going well. And then you just keep yourself under tension, you're unhappy, you don't have happy days, you're miserable, and time is going, time that you should be enjoying yourself. So just learn to ignore some things. The way I view it is that if it's not killing me, if it's not hurting me, if it does not have to do with eternity, then I can afford to overlook it. Because you don't want to be getting yourself worked up, aging prematurely, just because you are picking on one particular thing. You want it change. Anytime the atmosphere is free and nice, you just remember, that thing, it hasn't changed, and then you bring it up. Sometimes, let your partner do something that you don't like and ignore it. Just practice letting them get away with certain things that you don't like. It's character development for you. Try it. Next point I'm going to make is pray for your partner. If you have not made it a habit in 2023 to pray for your partner, if you don't do it regularly, please, in 2024, make it a point to pray for your partner. Pray for their well-being, pray for their wellness, pray that God will help them even as they go about their daily duties. They need strength, they need grace. It's just a sign of love when you pray for people. In fact, they say he ever lives to make intercession for us because he loves us. So if you love someone, you will pray for them, and not just pray about them in the sense that, oh, pray Lord, change this, change that, change this. No, sometimes just thank God for them and pray to uphold them, to uplift them, for them to hold fast to their resolve. Your partner probably wants to be good for you, but they need the help of God. So sometimes just pray and say, God, the resolve that this woman has made, the resolve that this man has made to be committed to me, to be committed to our home, Father, help them to keep that resolve. Instead of murmuring, instead of complaining, instead of nagging, talk to God about your partner. The last thing I'm going to talk about in this video is we should be kind to our partners in 2023. And it sounds like a no-brainer, but I think that after a while of living together with someone, we forget to just be nice, to just be kind, because we know them inside out, because we have experienced them in different ways, maybe in irritating ways. We forget to just be nice and do nice things for them like we would do for people outside, like your friend or your neighbors. Just always think about them. Think about ways to outdo them in kindness. Start with little things, big things, whatever it is. Start with where you are. It doesn't have to be, and I'm not talking about, spend big money on them, buy them most expensive things. I mean, it's important, but sometimes kindness shows up in the little things that we do that show that we're paying attention, that we're there, that we're thinking about them. So spend time, think about your partner, think about the things they like, and sometimes just do it for them, and do it without thinking of getting anything back in return. Just do it because you love them. Practice kindness. I think it's something we need to be intentional about. I feel like if we don't think about it every day, you can just cultivate an attitude of aggression or an attitude of negativity, or towards your spouse, towards the person that you're supposed to spend the rest of your life with. So hug them, give them a massage, do nice things for them, cut their nails, say, oh, I noticed this, oh, I noticed that. Kindly to them. Let them know when they think about you. Let them not think about you as somebody who is harsh. Let them think about somebody who cares for them. So this is where I'm going to stop this video. So many things that we need to change about ourselves before we move into 2024 so that we can become better partners. If I've left anything out, just let me know in the comment section and look out for my next video.